The next paper is by Dr. Ramadevi Shekharji. It is about the sculptural positioning in Brihadeeshwara temple, an aesthetic expression of Hindu cosmology.
Namaste, sir. So, Namaste Indic Academy for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my ideas. My pranams to Shasan Jain College for allowing me to present this paper. My pranams to my Guruji. In this presentation, I would like to show the sculptural positioning of the Brihadishwara temple. So already most of us know about the Brihadishwara temple. I'm not going to talk about the temple. So how the position, the sculptures are positioned beautifully according to the aesthetic expression. So and also most importantly based on our Hindu cosmology. So this is the temple. The Brihadishwara temple is originally called as Rajarajeshwara, built by the Rajakesari Rajaraja Chola. It is a most outstanding temple, and moreover, why still now after the 1,000 years and more years to go, why we talk about this as an outstanding temple? That is because of the meticulous planning in a very grand scale. So every aspect of this temple, be it a sculpture or architecture, image or bronze or inscriptions, are very pre-planned, very well planned, and also where to project, how to place it, and each and every aspect is very well articulated based upon the central image of the Rajarajeshwara Linga. That is the central point. Based on the central point of the Rajarajeshwara Linga, other aspects are beautifully articulated. So this architecture is called as Meru. So in the my end thing, why it is called as Meru, let me explain. So this temple, when we talk about the temple architecture, it is based on the Agama. Of course, Rajaraja is attained the Diksha, Shiva Diksha from his Guru, Ishana Shiva Pandita, who is from Bengal, and also some say he is from the Golaki Mata. Okay, his Diksha Nama is Shiva Pada Shekara. So, Ishana Shiva is an authoritative of Siddhanta Saiva, and his work is called as Ishana Gurudeva Paddhati, and still now it is considered as an authority on Shaivagama. So, this temple follows the particular Agama called Mukutagama, and each and every design of this temple, sorry for using the word design. So each and every sculpture or architecture or be it a philosophy based on the Mukutagama and the rituals mostly when we talk about the Agama of a temple, why Agama, what were the ritual they follow in the temple, that is based on the Agama. So here they follow the Mukutagama. So without a proper study and understanding of this so-called temple and Agama, one cannot understand the greatness of this temple, and we cannot understand about the sculptural positioning within the temple complex also. The entire design of this Rajarajeshwara Griham or Rajarajeshwaram is guided by the principle based on the Mukutagama. This Brihadishwara Linga, as I mentioned, the whole of the temple is planned based on the central image, that is the Linga. So the Linga, Pita or Pindi or Brahmashila, based on this only what I'm going to present in this small presentation, we will see. So the Brahmashila, that is which is below the floor level, where the linga is fixed. So the linga itself is a square. I think most of us could have seen the diagram of the temple plan. It is 18 to 8, 64. It is we have 9 into 9, 81, and sorry, this is 9 into 9, 81, and we have 18 to 8, 64 squares. So everything is a square, even though it is a rectangular plan, it is 2 squares. So the Brahmashila is below the floor level, and where the central linga is fixed, the linga itself is square in the bottom and below the floor level, and in the mid portion it is octagonal, and above it is cylindrical and parasol on the top. So the diameter, everything is given. So the next, when we talk about the types of consecration, so there we have Manusha Linga, we have Daiva Pratishta, we have Asura Pratishta. So this particular type of Linga is consecrated by men, that is called as Manusha Linga category. And this Linga Pita belongs to the Padma Pita variety, and the ratio is 3.5 width of the Garbhagriha. This belongs to the Uttamottama Linga, that is foremost of the lingas. And according to the Mukutagama, the supreme form of Lord Shiva is Paramananda Tandav Murti. That is why we have the Nataraja and all the Karanas. I will show later. So this Paramananda Tandav Murti, who is supremely blissful cosmic dancer, Ananda Tandav Murti, is invoked into this Brihadishvara Linga as a dancing on the Navatattvas. What are the Navatattvas? We have, so from here, when we, so it goes like this. So we have the Vishnu Tattva, Rudra, Mahesha, Sadashiva, Parabindu, Paranada, Parashakti. Likewise, Navatattvas, right from the floor level and then above the floor, the Linga, how it is placed. And all the 9 Tattvas are beautifully presented in the Linga. So why he is called as Adal Vallan? According to the Mukutagama, the vacuum or the space which is above the temple, when we enter the Garbhagriha, we can see this. So it is beautifully, like in the previous paper presentation, talked about the yantra. So it is something like a Meru yantra. So this Paramananda Tandav Murti or Adavallan is the vacuum is represented in the form of Paramananda Tandav Murti. He is called as the manifestation of the dancing form of the Shiva. So this Paramananda Tandav Murti, the inner vacuum above the Linga Bhera is represented. That is why we have the Nritya Karanas, which are sculpted along the Vimana's inner wall at the second level. And also this suggests, everything is a suggestion in the temple when we talk. So the temple itself is a suggestion of the cosmic supreme being. So each and my Guruji, he used to tell that when we enter the temple, whatever, be it a pillar or a pilaster or a lintel level, everything is the form of the, that is the suggestion of the God embodiment. So when we know this central philosophy of the Mukutagama, one would not be surprised that the Nataraja was one of the favorite theme. And it comes to this, when you come to this Brihadishvara temple, there is one inscription which refers to the Rajaraja's gift of a metal cast image called as Adal Vallan. This is that image Rajaraja gifted. This is metal cast. So if you, next when we talk come to this Linga, the Linga is Rupa as well as Arupa, form and formless. It is the very first manifestation of the Panchabrahma. The Panchabrahma, when we say Panchabrahma, Tatpurusha, Aghora, Sadyojata, Vamadeva and Ishana, it is the figurative form of the Supreme Shiva. The Panchabrahma, that is Pancha Avarana, when we say Tatpurusha facing the east direction, Aghora the southern, Sadyojata the western, Vamadeva the northern, and Ishana on the top face, where he is worshipped with the Mula Mantra, itself in the respective direction, that is east, south, west, north, respectively, and on the top Ishana. So all the other deities which form the part of the various enclosures are the Koshtagriha. Also, the Avarana Devatas were positioned according to this agamic prescription. So we'll see how beautifully the Avarana Devatas as well as the sculptures are beautifully placed, positioned, like in the Sushant ji's paper. He was talking about the yantra and also the weapons. So let us see how the Ayuda Purushas and other sculptures are beautifully based on the Avarana, the yantra, how it is beautifully placed. So this is the Avarana. So here the arrangement of Devatas as per the Avarana. In the outermost we have the Dasha Ayuda. In the next one, Avarana, we have the Dasha Lokapala and Ashta Ganeshwara, Ashta Vidyeshwara, and then we have the Garbhagraha, wherein we have that central image of Rajarajeshwara Linga. So when we talk about the Ashtavidyeshwara, so let me begin with the Ashtavidyeshwara. So they are depicted with the 3 eyes, 4 hands, with the sporting of axe, Trishula, Abhaya, and Varada Mudras. Right from the east, we have the Ananta, Trimurti, Sukshma, Trikanta, Shrikanta, Shivottama, and Shikandi, Ekanetra, and Ekarudra. Likewise, Ashtavidyeshwara, their lingas are beautifully positioned. And then when we come to this Vidyeshwara, the sculptures I want to show. So in the previous thing, I have shown only the diagram, how they are placed. This is how they are placed, the Vidyeshwara. And then the next Avarana, we have the 8 Ganeshwara or Ashta Ganeshwara. So we have the Shanmukha or Subramanya, and then we have the Ambika. We have Chandikeshwara, Mahakala, Nandikeshwara, Vrisha, Nandikeshwara, Ganesha, and Bringi. So, the Nandikeshwara and Mahakala, and Chandikeshwara and Ambika. We have the Vrisha. And then the next circle, next Avarana, we have the Ashtalokapalas. So we all know the east direction, Indra, Agni, the southeast, Yama in the southern direction, southwest, Nirriti, west direction, we have Varuna, northwest, Vayu, north, Soma, and then northeast, we have Ishana. And then next comes the Dasha Ayudas. So right from that, everything once again based on according to this positioning of the central image in the Garbhagraha. So beautifully the Ayuda Devatas also beautifully positioned, spread out, right from the Vajra Shakti, Dhanda, Kadga, Pasha, Ankusha, Gadha, Trishula, Padma, and Chakra. So other sculptures also I have given. I think it is visible. So other murtis and the forms of the various forms of the Shiva is beautifully spread out in this temple. So that is why he is called as Brihadishwara. Everything is in a grand manner. I have given tried my level best to position all the Ayuda Purushas, Ashta Ganeshwara, Ashta Vidyeshwara. So when we come to this Ayuda Purushas, we have the Trishula, Parashu. So the beauty of this temple is all the Ayuda Purushas, how they will look. He has Rajaraja has beautifully sculpted in this temple for our reference. So all these we will be reading in our manual called the text. So we can see how the Ayuda Purusha actually look. So in the next one, Vajra and Shakti. And when when we talk about the other deities in the Poshtagriha or the niches, we have the beautiful forms of Shiva as other forms of Shiva, Vishnu, and Chakradhana Murti. We have Nataraja, Bhikshatana, Ardhanarishwara, Lingodbhava, Gangadhara, etc. We have many more. Due to the paucity of time, I'm not able to give all the details of the Poshtagriha. So these deities are on the one circle, and other conventional deities called as the Parivara Devatas are beautifully distributed in the other next avarana or in the other next circle. These sculptures based on the distributed according to the Agama. And we have the Maheshwara Murtis according to the Shaiva Siddhanta. The linga is called as Sadashiva. Sadashiva assumed 25 forms. That is why he has called as Maheshwara Murti. That is very apt for the creation. So we have the Murtis like Bhoga Murti, Yoga Murti, and Vega Murti. In this temple, we can see the Bhoga Murti, we can see the Yoga Murti, and the Vega Murti. So here we have the Maheshwara Murtis, Bhikshatana and Kala Samhara, Lingodbhava, and Vishnu as the Chakradhana Murti, Chakra Adhana Murti. And then we have the Ardhanari and Dakshina Murti. And other Koshta Vigrahas like we have the Ashtavasus. The main Vimana over the two-storied of the Garbhagraha, which belongs to the Sandara variety, that is Sandara, that is which has the inner Pradakshina Pata is called as Sandara, along with the Mahamandapa and other two Gopuras.
I think you're towards the concluding part of...
Yes. I'm in the conclusion now. So were built very according to the perfect agamic code and the philosophy, and the distribution of the icons also according to the agamas. We have so here he says in the inscription, very first inscription, that is, I have built this temple in the stone. Why stone? Stone is considered to be the Shuddha form. We have other temples, Mishra variety, that is usage of stone and other materials. Here he has used only the stone as the main material. So he uses the Katrali, Nam Edipicha Katrali, that is the Shuddha form. Why this Meru? With this, let me conclude. In the beginning, I was talking about the everywhere it is very huge, and also architecture-wise, this particular type of architecture is called as Meru. Why Meru? Because Meru is, according to our Puranas, it is a very sacred and geographical point, and also spiritually, it is treated very well in the Agamas. And the Meru is called as the Shuddha variety. That is why this particular Vimana is called as type of construction of Vimana is called as Meru. And yeah, so Meru is surrounded by the Maryada Parvatas and other small peaks. That is why here in this Brihadishwara temple also we have the Parivara Devatas, Ashtavidyeshwara, Ashtaganeshwara, and Dasha Ayudha Purusha. So Meru Prasadaha Uttamaha, that is why he names this particular type of Vimana as the Meru. The beauty of the temple, Hindu temple, lies not only in the artistic depiction or in the craftsmanship, which are like the alankaras embellishing the poetry, but only in realizing the supremacy of Ishvara, to whom the entire complex is dedicated. This is the Atma or the soul. That is what, right from the Anandavardhana to other acharyas, when they talk about the Atma, the Dhvani, or the very soul. So here it is, everything is a suggestion. So this is the suggestion from the Agamas also. So when we understand this grandeur, why it is grand, so grand, the plan is why it is like this. It is based on the Shad Advas or the microcosmic Devalaya. So I dedicate this small presentation to my Guru. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. I thank Indic Academy and Shasan Jain College. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramadevi ji. That was quite elaborate, highly knowledgeable, last presentation.